What is up, guys? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, for being subscribed. If you're not, hit that button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like button. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to brighten up the place. Let's get into this conversation/reality chat. I just want to know, like, when it comes to these reality shows, not even just the reality shows, but when it comes to celebrity culture and all this other stuff, it just seems that some people really get too wrapped up into these people, these shows, these entities. It's like absolutely insane, some of the things that people do and the heights that some people will go to for the sake of people that you don't even know and probably never will know. And it's crazy. But I recently was talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta and the fact that it was reported by lovebscott that everyone was getting axed, everyone, and they were going to be doing a fresh new reboot like they did for the Real Housewives of New York. And I could definitely agree with them doing that, have no issues with it. But now it's being reported by the Jasmine brand that only 3 current cast members are expected to return next season, and that production is receiving death threats. And that's crazy, but fans are threatening to boycott over the shakeup, which, I mean, it's fine. I've heard of people doing boycotts before for shows and stuff like that. And even that, to me, is a bit much. It's just like, if you don't want to watch, then don't watch. And even if you want to encourage others to not watch, then fine. And I know about the boycott over on Love and Marriage Huntsville, but that was more so, I think, I could be wrong, but I think that was more so because of things that people were saying that were in regards to Melody's children, as well as Melody's safety and things like that when it comes to things that were said about her children, some alleged threats by Letitia's uncle, I believe, something about a weapon, and then even the fact that Hotel is still on there when it has been, I believe, proven that because he admitted to it, it had been proven that he was attempting to try to disparage her character by putting some disgusting stuff that nobody needs to see online to try to embarrass her because he was pissed that she was making comments about him. So stupid. But anyway, people were boycotting or even threatening to boycott over that. But receiving death threats, production, like, is it that serious for people to continue to see their faves on TV? Like, are you getting a cut of their check? I mean, I'm just being honest when I say that. It's a legitimate question. I'm not even trying to be funny, because when I saw this, I was like, you have got to be crazy. You've got to be kidding me. But yeah, allegedly that is something that has been happening. So anyway, the Jasmine brand reports that exclusively there's a strong chance the Real Housewives of Atlanta will look a little different next season. As you may already know, the popular reality series recently wrapped season 15 and is gearing up to air its reunion special. Despite the current season seemingly having a strong main cast and bringing some of the OGs as guests for a few minutes, I don't even know why they even talked about it, but anyway, it seems viewers struggle to connect with the RHOA ladies this year. Reportedly, the 2023 run of the reality show received bad reviews from the public, with many watchers calling out the peach holders and producers for lackluster storylines and underwhelming drama. According to our sources, some of the critics have taken things a bit too far and even allegedly sent death threats to the series producers. This week, a report from lovebscott claimed that production will replace the entire main cast of the series. Insiders close to the Bravo show have confirmed with the Jasmine brand exclusively that viewers can expect to see new faces next season. However, some of the current Atlanta ladies will be returning as well. Producers will likely keep 2 to 3 current housewives and recast the remaining slots with new women. It's speculated that Kenya Moore, Candy Burris, and possibly Sheree Whitfield will be offered contracts for season 16. Sheree's asking go, honestly. And to be honest with you, I'm done with Candy. And I'm not saying I don't care about Kenya. I like her. But the divorce that just will not end, her wanting to have another baby, I'm just like, why do they need to keep bringing all these people back? For what? If you want to continue to work with them, well, maybe try to do something a little different where it's maybe like a spinoff of some sort and offer them less money, because honestly, a lot of this has to do with money. Why would you keep the people that you're paying the most money to if it's a struggle bus for you? I don't know. But maybe they'll be able to find some people that are willing to accept $1,000 per episode like they offered to that chick who was on there a couple of seasons ago, who used to be, or maybe she still is, I don't follow her on YouTube. Anyway, it's also important to note that Bravo has addressed rumors that the network plans to change the entire cast and said nothing official has been decided. As far as the new peach holders go, sources tell us that viewers shouldn't expect to see any well-known celebrities, and instead production will use the opportunity to introduce new socialites to the world. Allegedly, this is because the series doesn't have the budget to cover big-name Atlanta-based stars. Fans are reportedly upset by the recent report that Bravo plans to wipe the entire RHOA slate clean and may boycott if the network does so. One Twitter user wrote, "We don't need a cast reboot. We need a production reboot. Production destroyed this season, RHOA." Another added, "Getting rid of the entire RHOA cast feels like it would be an overcorrection and a misplacement of blame for what was objectively not a good season. The elements were there for a much better one." Another one says, "I don't think the full blame should go on RHOA producers, though. They got to work with what they have. And if the scene is boring, then it saves viewers from watching it. Some of the cast members have been on there for more than 5 years. At some point, the cast gets boring and the producers have to shake it up to keep the show afloat. I think a reboot is necessary." Listen, guys, I've talked about this multiple times. And I am definitely not someone who claims to be a reality show expert or someone who's even got experience or expertise when it comes to entertainment. I really could care less because it's not something that I've ever been interested in doing. But just based on just giving an example, I know we cannot compare networks, but the TLC network, which, by the way, is kind of ironic because they used to be called the Learning Channel years ago, but now it's just TLC. The TLC network that produces 90 Day Fiance, which I've been watching for years, it is one of the reasons why it is very interesting is because they continuously introduce new people. None of these people are celebrities. None of these people are well known. And it makes for good TV because you're drawn in, because you don't know these people. And yeah, it's a hot, crappy mess sometimes because it's like, who in the world would go to the other side of the country to try to find love? But this is something that has been happening for years. The 90 Day Fiance visa is something that is a real legitimate thing. And so they have found people who have been willing to share their stories and have it on television. And yeah, you do see some old faces because they will have the 90 Day Fiance, which is the new faces. And then they will have the other part where it's people that you've already seen, but you're following their story a little bit more because these are the people that you got a bit more intrigued by, you got a good bit more maybe information by, or maybe you were just so overwhelmed with what they had to share where you're wanting to follow their story a little bit more because you wanted to know what happened after they got married. So you've seen some good stuff, and their ratings have been beating the Housewives ratings on Sunday nights for the most part. And so when you think about it, Candy has been on The Real Housewives of Atlanta since season 2, right? She's been one that has been on, I believe at this point, all franchises the longest. I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe she has been consistently. And at this point in time, it is about to go on season 16. How much more do you need to see of these people? Especially when you already know that all Candy's going to do is launch another product or, have another business. So it's like people need to get over the fact that you've got your faves, you like this person, follow them on social media. I don't need to see these people anymore on this show. If there are a few people on there that you feel are worthy to continue to see some of the stuff that they have going on, then take it to a spinoff or maybe have them come back as friends of every once in a while. But this is really getting old. And I'm not even saying that just for the Real Housewives of Atlanta. All of them. Kyle Richards has been on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills since the beginning. I don't even know if her divorce situation is real. In my personal opinion, it could be something fake and a storyline that they're making up to make them look more interesting so that she can ask for more money and just continuously be on the show. But even those people on there, they could get rid of them and bring other people on. Not maybe Garcelle because she hasn't been on as long, but also Garcelle is a celebrity. So in my personal opinion, when they were speaking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta and they're saying don't expect to see any celebrities next season, Nene was not a celebrity. Kim wasn't a celebrity. Sheree definitely wasn't a celebrity. Lisa Wu Hartwell, not a celebrity. Deshaun Snow, not a celebrity. None of those women were celebrities when they came on the show. Candy actually was the one who was the celebrity when she came on. And even though she had made some hits, she had written some Grammy award-winning songs, and she was not broke. She wasn't, I wouldn't say as, what's the word that I want to use? Not the passive income, but getting all of this regular active income that she's getting now from the Real Housewives of Atlanta and now the other revenue streams with her doing her YouTube channel or YouTube channels because she has a few of them. Like, she's making money hand over fist right now, and it's all because of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm not here to stop anybody from making their money, but like, do you want these people to be on season 30 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? You want to keep seeing the same people? It should be like 90 Day Fiancé, where you're continuously bringing new people on. And I'm not saying every season for something like this, but I feel like a 5-year mark should be like a good wrap up. And then you introduce some new people, introduce them as friends of maybe, and then you get them to be the regulars, and maybe some of the ones who have been on there for a long time become friends of. Because honestly, say what you want about Cynthia, but this season, just the few times that I've seen Cynthia, it was refreshing. And the few little confessionals that she had, they were actually funny. I could deal with that, seeing some of what they call the OGs in that way versus just the peach holders. And no, they should not be having celebrities. None of the people that they brought on in the beginning were celebrities. And to be honest with you, my personal opinion, just being beautifully honest, I feel that may have been the beginning of the downfall. Yeah, I've spoken about Nene's attitude and her ego a lot, and it is real. And she can be absolutely ridiculous. I'm not saying that every single thing that she said or felt was a lie, but she has to be the one to take personal responsibility for a lot of her own actions and a lot of the things that she has said, instead of always blaming somebody else for what she said and what she did. But Bravo created that monster. Let's just be real. Bravo created that monster. I feel that once it started getting around the time that she had the Glee appearances and the new normal, and she was getting all of these other opportunities and whatever, it started to become ridiculous at that point where she was always talking about and Phaedra being on there. I've got a lot of jobs and I'm being booked and I'm busy and whatever. It took away the premise of being an actual housewife. I mean, let's just be honest. When the show started, whether she was a cat woman or not, and she wasn't a wife. Kim Zolciak was being taken care of by Big Papa. So that was her going to the dealership, writing out a check to purchase an Escalade, just, cash, being kept, having gifts being sent to her all the time. Nene, even though it was fake, but she and Greg, he was the one that was working. She was the stay-at-home mom. Lisa Wu Hartwell, even though she claimed to have all of these businesses or whatever, but her husband was the NFL player, so he was the breadwinner. And then you had Sheree with her ridiculous self being, I wouldn't even say being kept, but going through a divorce and living in this house where the gate didn't work. Remember that? But she was not working. You know what I mean? And now it's come to the point where you got the real entrepreneurs of Atlanta. It's not the real housewives. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we keep the name. And so you get used to the name. But honestly, the premise of it doesn't even make sense anymore because that's not who these people are. So I feel like as it got around that point in time, that's probably when they should have cut the Nene gravy train to let her pursue her passions and do what she was going to do. Because remember, she just started acting as if she didn't need the housewives anymore. I don't know if I'm going to come back. I don't really feel it. And even when she was being filmed on the show, she was speaking like that when she had all of these other opportunities coming her way. So honestly, a 5-year run probably is a good mile marker for these ladies, and recycle and bring new people in. So like every 3 to 5 seasons. Because even at this point in time, it's getting a bit ridiculous with Potomac. All of them, I feel should get a recast and a reboot at a 3 to 5 year mark. I'm not saying they should do it like 90 Day Fiance, where every single cycle you have new people that are coming on that are the main cast members for the Real Housewives of Atlanta, or even just all of the other ones. Because even the Real Housewives of Orange County, I started watching Housewives because Orange County was what I was watching. It was the first out of all of them. Tamra is ridiculous. I know I haven't talked about the Real Housewives of Orange County on here. I may talk about it from time to time in the future. I don't know, but it's ridiculous. Tamra is ridiculous, and a lot of these people, they don't really have it like that, because even Tamra, she and her husband, they had that gym, and then after she got fired, I believe the money just wasn't there like they had it anymore, because I believe that was actually what was helping to keep the gym going, and they closed the gym down. They say it was because of the pandemic. It could have been a combination of it and not just her being fired or just the pandemic, but definitely I believe her not being on the Real Housewives of Orange County anymore was a big contributing factor to them closing the gym down. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I think some people are just really over the top and ridiculous when it comes to these people, because to send death threats to production because you heard rumors that they're going to be recasting the entire cast of characters on the show, I think is absolutely ridiculous. But I agree with the person who said that the producers shouldn't take the full blame. They have what they have to work with when it comes to the cast members. And honestly, they've been on here too long. It's season 16. Get over it, people. Not everything lasts forever. And the fact that the show is still on all of this time, honestly, is something to say is a feat, because who knew it was even going to last this long? But if they didn't make the mistake, I'm sure they probably felt like they needed to keep these people because they were getting the views and the ratings back then. But I think if they had done something where they recycle people every 3 to 5 years, not recycle them, but, got rid of them and maybe kept some of them on as friends of, and didn't get people feeling like they were entitled to make millions being on the show. Because honestly, the whole premise of reality TV back in the day when it was created was to give people the opportunity to share their story, but you were not making millionaires, and you honestly weren't even using a lot of money to produce the shows. But over time, I guess they're making money, so they want to invest more, and yeah, pay people more. I'm not saying that you don't, you give them gift cards for their work and their time, but yeah, give them some increases, but millions of dollars to be on a reality show, I just feel like they created monsters. And now you've got the talk of the unions and, getting paid for streaming and all that other stuff. I'm not saying that they shouldn't get anything for the streaming views that people are, being able to enjoy, but they created these monsters. They created the beast, and now they have this situation to deal with where the views are down. They are not getting a return on the investment, and you've got people that feel entitled to make a lot of money by being on these shows. So I just don't know, guys. I really feel that there isn't anything wrong with doing a full and total recast and reboot. Yeah, maybe, seeing some of the ladies here and there, but full cast reboot, I don't have a problem with it. I think the death threats being sent to production is absolutely insane and ridiculous. It really shows that some people have too much time in their hands and they're too invested into these shows and these people. I mean, to send death threats when that money that they make is not going into your bank account is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to talk about that because when I saw this story, I just was like, you have got to be kidding me. People are too invested into these ladies, into these shows, and into this mess. It's just crazy. So, guys, let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comment section. Thanks for being here, for liking and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until the next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful, and now I'm going to say bye.